Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome everyone to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio out of New York. We are so excited that we are celebrating our 1,000th broadcast on Business Talk Radio this week, actually tomorrow at 2:15. It's been quite a journey going from the radio to TV, and we are also celebrating over 725 episodes on television, all in less than a year and a half. So thanks for taking this journey with us. I am thrilled for our show today, the Mallorca Connection, and my co-host Roland is under the weather, so he's not joining us today, but we do have a very good friend and someone who's been here before. He is coming back to join us again. His name is Johan Munck Larholm. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be back. It's amazing. And I'm looking forward for an whole hour of amazing talks.
Well, it's so nice to see you. And I think you're coming back at a really pivotal time. We were talking backstage about all the things going on in the world and different places getting locked down again and having to make the decision about vaccinations, boosters. And I think there's a real need for people to take some time for mental health awareness. And I want to talk about the work that you're doing at the Performance Retreat and exactly what it is and what people can expect when they go there.
Yes, I'm the founder of the Performance Retreat, and we do high exclusive retreats around the world. And it's by invites only, so you need to get through an interview to be accepted. We train and inspire people to live the lives that they deserve, mentally and physically, and help them reach their goals. So we are mostly one-to-one retreats between 7 to 10 to 14 days. And it's everything about soul, mental, health, performance. So it's like a holistic 360-degree system where you train people to be the best version of themselves.
Thank you so much, Johan. A question that just came to me, and others might be thinking it, why the exclusivity? Why the interview process? How did you come up with this approach?
Yeah, well, I've been training a lot of pro athletes around the world, and I'm a former athlete myself. And I had a lot of different educations behind me. And some of the educations, you're sitting maybe 20 or 30 people together, and you need to share some of your inner feelings and thoughts and emotions. And I'm a strong guy, but for me, it was really difficult to tell like the secrets that are hidden inside when I'm sitting with a lot of people that I know. So that's why the exclusivity is very important. So it is mainly one-to-one, and when you do one-to-one, you feel very safe. And when that happens, the magic happens, because suddenly we can dig into the deeper inner feelings, emotions, and memories in the nervous system that holds you back or makes you afraid or whatever it is. So it's very important. And the interview is very important too, because we need to know that we fit to each other, that we are on the same level, because it doesn't matter how good I am, if the client doesn't want to reach the goals, we can reach them. So we need to make sure that we are ready and we both are understanding each other.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm wondering, during this interview process, how intense is it?
No. It's I think it's very important that whatever you do in life, it has to be as simple as possible. When stuff is getting too complicated, is very difficult, and you will never reach the goals and the dreams you have. So it's like, imagine you and me talking here, and before they're coming, I have a questionnaire that he needs to, like, in 54 questions, everything about how to feel, how to live in disease and stuff, just to give me an overall view of who they are and what the goals are. And afterwards, we just have the interview. Either I fly to them or they come to me, or we can do it as Skype. And we just have a talk, like 30 minutes, and just I ask a lot of questions, they ask a lot of questions, and from there on, I feel that we figure out and see if we have a match and if we like each other. Because coaching is, everything is about trusting and believing and like each other. That's what coaching is all about. So that's the key for a really good start in a coaching week or 2 weeks of programs.
Yeah, I think the trust is really key. And I want to let our audience know that the last time I met you and now, you just have this very positive, calming energy. Even though we're not in the same room, I just feel it. So you're very easy to be with because you just have this light shining from you. And I'm sure that's what your clients see also. You know, many times I interview people and they're kind of all over the place, they're nervous wreck, but you're very calm and in control, which I think is terrific. So what can someone expect? So they get through the interview process and now they're actually going to be working with you and your team. What is that experience like?
What we're trying to do is to make it as personal as possible. So forget everything about 5-star hotels and all these things, because all our clients have tried all that. So that's not what we need. We need to have something with a feel they are special, that they're unique, that all the attention is about them. We're creating something around them. So it's beautiful and everything is set up to fit to the client's needs. But it's very like personal. So we are, with all my clients, we're friends afterwards, because we're talking about things, training about in different ways, so we know each other like very good friends afterwards.
Oh, that's actually beautiful. I'm wondering, when someone comes to you and they have something they want to accomplish, whether it's physical, they want to be able to lose weight, they build muscle, whatever it is, or emotional, do they have to let go of certain habits that they might have that are affecting their mental or physicality?
Yes, definitely. Yes. Everything we do is custom made. So there's no, like, as you know as good as I do, because you've been interviewing thousands of people, so you know people even maybe better than I do. There's no two people that are the same. So we're all different, we're all unique. And that's why you cannot do one program that fits all, because then you will never make a customized program that fits the person. So everything is done to fit that person perfectly. And so that's why, if you have anything that holds you back, we need to look into that and make that let go. And when that is done, it's much easier to be more healthy, but also mentally reach the goals and happy life. So definitely it's very important to let go of these things that is holding you back.
Thank you, Johan. And what I'm wondering is, let's say I apply, you interview me and you say, okay, this seems like it's going to be a good fit. And I tell you that I want to accomplish something. I want to have more defined muscles, for example, just making something up. But I love candy, which I don't eat candy, but let's just say I love candy and I love cake and I'm not going to give it up. Would you say, well, okay, we'll still work with you? Or is it pretty much, listen, we know that you want to get certain results, you're going to have to do certain things, and here's what the plan is. There's no deviation.
Well, of course, if the thing is that if you treat yourself extremely badly, like if you eat too much candy, sugar, bad food, alcohol, whatever you do, it will give you a kickback, and it will give you a bad result on the other side as well, physically and mentally. But what we do is we are selling you what you want. So you're coming to me and tell, I want to get more ripped or more toned or whatever it is. Fine. That's your approach. But I'm giving you what you need. And there's a big difference, because if I'm selling you what you need, then I will give you a long list of, oh, we go this, and then I've lost you, it's too much, and it's too complicated, I cannot do it, it's like, oh, leave me alone. But that's not your task. My task is I'm the pro, so I know exactly what to do with you, so that's my job, but I'm selling you what you want. So you want to get more trim, yes, but then I know, okay, the addiction to sugar and all that, I know that it could be emotion that sticks back because it tells you that I deserve this, I don't feel good enough, I'm afraid of something, and then the sugar is like the treat. And so I know we need to dig into those emotions and let that go, because as soon as we let that go, the sugar craving is gone. So instead of just telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that, we're encouraging you to, we're always looking at the positive side. How can we do something better? How can we make life better? How can we get more fun into stuff? Instead of doing opposite, that trying to strangle you and give you a hardcore diet, you're just losing. So it's completely different. It's opposite. It's completely
Yes.
opposite.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I have to say, to your point about sugar, I know I was addicted to sugar for years and I gave it up, and it's kind of like, I don't even care about it. I don't even think about it. But something I'm wondering is, many of us have certain patterns of behavior that are dysfunctional, and to give them up, we might actually have to take a real hard look at ourselves. And I think that people have fears about that. So it's like, if I let go of this, I'm actually going to have to do the hard work. When I'm still over here doing this, I'm hiding over here, right? And I have blinders on. I don't have to actually see it. What are your thoughts about that?
You're spot on. I don't know. You're completely correct. I've been training the best athletes in the world, the top CEOs in the world, and the ones I am most proud of is all my clients who start to work with the mental emotions, because that is the toughest area to get into. It's much more tough than go into a cage and fight the other guy with small gloves and start bleeding. That is tough too, but it's completely different. Working with yourself is the most difficult, and you need a lot of guts and be so brave to do it. But I'm so proud of all of them. But the results and the kickback you get from it is life-changing. It's like things you've been struggling with for your whole life, you can get rid of within 3, 5, 7, 10 days. Then it's gone. It's not coming back. It's like amazing.
That is amazing. And how do you feel knowing that you help people change their lives? That's got to be such a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, it's not a work for me, because I created the system myself. I've been looking into the world and say, okay, but I couldn't find anything like that before as an athlete. I want to have someone to look at my full potential and help me be the best version of myself. I was really good. I was extremely strong, and mentally I've always been really strong. So maybe that was a strong gift from my DNA. But I couldn't find a person that looked at the full picture and helped me, guide me to the even higher levels of performance and life. So I sat down and started everything from scratch. Okay, I want to take this piece, and we're still searching the world for newer, more powerful system we can add to the system. So for me, it's not a work. It's my life. So when I work with people, I don't say, oh, fuck it, clock, what time is it now? 30 minutes, I need to have a break. Or no, it's my passion, it's me, and that's why we do the results. So the biggest reward, of course, money is great and fine, and we all need that. There's nothing wrong with money, and earning a lot of money is great too. But the biggest reward is to see the difference. So when my clients step in door, day one, I look at the eyes, how they look. I look at the eyes again. Day 6, day 3, day 5, day 7. It's a completely different person walking in that door. Completely. And that is my biggest reward. But like, that's amazing to see what you have done together, created, and see how suddenly everything is just letting go, and they love their lives and the performance level. And when you do the performance or the strength test, you can see that they are 20-30% better than they were when they came in. And all the bad habits of smoking, sugars, drinking is gone. There's nothing there, and they're happy. They can be connected to their families and be there at the moment. Really be there and not be all over the place, because the brain is telling them to you have to do this, but they keep you aware and live in the moment. Because if you can't live in the moment, you can't live at all. I think it's amazing. It's life-changing. So for me, that's I can't ask for more. Honestly, it's amazing.
That is truly amazing. And for people who are interested, but they're struggling with an addiction, let's say it's smoking, for example, and they want to stop smoking. And so they're going to work with you, but they know that they're not going to be feeling so great probably as they're going through giving this up. Do you work with them to try to understand what to expect and how to move through it?
Yes, we go through everything like that. Well, when you talk about smoking addictions, I must say, honestly here, to be honest, if you are addicted to not cigarettes, that's fine. But if we have a lot of clients coming, even though they're extremely wealthy, that say, fix me, and they're addicted to cocaine or whatever it is, I say, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. It's not because the system we have built can't do it. It can, but it's me as a person. It's too hard for me. I don't like that. I don't want that. So it's for me, I need to find my clients that I want to work with. So cigarettes, of course, is fine. And it's difficult. But when you look at the addiction to a cigarette, I say 15 to 20% of the addiction is physical, like the system wants to have the nicotine or that. The 80% is mentally. So as soon as you delete that, that feeling of I get this, I deserve this, I do this to get a break from whatever it is, business, family, whatever it is. So I have this little private zone, this is my friend. As soon as you get rid of that, last 20% is nothing. It's just like, okay, you get over it very fast.
That's really fascinating. And by the way, congratulations on having your niche of who you want to work with and who you don't, because I think that makes a big difference. Because if somebody comes to you and they have an addiction to something and you're not interested, or you're just not thinking it's a good relationship, you're not just going to take it because of the money. You're not going to say, oh yeah, that's fine. So I love how you are really making it where you can truly feel an authentic connection with the person.
Yes, I must say, when I started 11 years ago, my goal was just to make world champions, nothing else. I would just want to make the best athletes in the world, because I was in that business. So I trained UFC fighters, Olympic wrestlers, cyclists, football players, stuff like that. And that was like, I traveled them around the world and helped them, coach them mentally and physically. At some point I said, okay, that's cool, but can I do it with CEOs? Then I start working with CEOs and figure out that I could do that too. And I said, okay, can I do it with like unemployed people that don't have any jobs? I knew, of course, money-wise, it was not that great for me, but it was a challenge to see the system. How good is it, and how good am I? Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I really help people that are really suffering and get through this and come out in happy, love themselves, and get out there and get a new job and build a new life and live it. And we did that as well. Then I said, all right, can we do it with teenagers? Teenagers is really suffering from mental illnesses, eating disorders, all these things. And we did. I needed a bit more time with these clients because it's really tough. Not only for the client itself, but for me, it hurts. I was bleeding inside, but I was so happy that when I saw the results and these young girls came back and this eating disorders, and the parents came in and hugged me and crying because they have done everything they could for years. And I think that is the most horrible thing as a parent, seeing your own kid just actually killing themselves slowly, and they have tried everything. Trust me, all parents have fought and tried everything they could, but there's nothing left. There's nothing left. They can't do more. They just have to sit on the sideline and just watch this young girl, or mostly girls, I must say, getting more and more thinner and sicker, and just wait for that's it. And suddenly this change coming in, and the light's coming back, and the parents are just, must be the best gift ever. Because so that, but for me personally, it's really tough. I really have to dig deep, and it's really tough. And then I said, all right, last thing can do with kids, because the reason why I started all of that was because I want to give my daughter a different life. I want to give my daughter, I didn't want to, there's a lot of stuff from my childhood I didn't want to pass on, alcohol, addiction, stuff like that, and not being present as a father and stuff like that. So I said, okay, I became a dad. I was fairly old, so I said, this is a choice, so I want to do it differently, and that was like the kickstart, because before that I was in the corporate world, working in India, building 300 shops and pushing the limits as CEOs and stuff like that. I stopped everything and said, no, now I want to see what these two hands can do, and that was, so my daughter was the kickstart. So I started working with kids, and I started working when my daughter, when she was 2 or 3. She was afraid of the dark and stuff, which are natural. It's not like you cannot be afraid of stuff, because that's completely natural. It's more if that feeling sticks in your nervous system, comes back. So you're having like an unnatural reaction to these things. So I started with her slowly, but that was more like a game, because just follow me, we do some techniques, and we were laughing and did it together. So I did that as well. So at the end, I've been through all categories and see how powerful the system is. And but I had to ask myself at the end, but who do I really want to work with? Because this is something I had to do for years and years and years and years. I have to ask myself, because I'm the most important tool in this system, and I need to train myself and make sure that this tool here is as strong as possible. Otherwise, I cannot give that to my clients.
Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And I'm just so happy that you talked about working with teenagers and with children. We had a show yesterday, Celebrate Great Britain Royally Rich, and we had a woman whose daughter had mental health issues, and she actually committed suicide. And this woman is now working with people across the world. And she was talking about food disorders, where especially young women, where they have this relationship with food that's not healthy, and they start getting thinner and thinner and sicker and sicker. And it's good to know that you have a system that can actually help people.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Well, food is just a matter of control. Like when you're getting, the thing is that at some point it hurts too much inside, and then you start jumping from the emotion you have down here up to into your head, and the head is more conservative, so it sticks into rhythm and systems, and it's a part of control. And you believe, I can't control how much it hurts when people are telling me this or doing this or looking at it like that and all these things. So what can I control? I need to find something I can control. So like my feelings, my thoughts, my ideas is okay. And that's why then at least food, I can control that. And my wife had the same. When I met her, listen, she ate, I've never seen anything eat that bad. It's only candy, and it was like horrible. So when I ate at her place first time, she made like a tiny, back then I was a pro athlete, and 20 kilos more bigger than I am now, and needed a lot of food. And she just gave me a tiny salad, and she, oh, that's enough. I was like, okay, that's a tiny starter. Let's look into it. And she loved me so much, so she said, okay, I need to look into food. I need to get really good at food. So now she's expert within food. So she's a part of the performance retreat as well. I do the nutrition, to design the foods for the clients, and do the face scans. And she completely changed her life. She had bad blood pressure and stuff like that, and everything is gone. Everything is gone. Now she loves food, and she knew it was just an emotion. So I helped her get rid of that, and so I know the control is why that's the food problem. So then we're using the food as a tool.
What a powerful example of success that you worked with your own wife, your daughter. I think that's just truly amazing. Johan, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'd really like to turn our segment to the new year. As we know, January is a huge month for people to sign up for gym memberships, and they're going to change this and they're going to change that, and then it's February and we're back to where we were. So let's take a few minutes and talk about that. How does it sound?
Amazing. Okay. Thank you.
Fantastic. Stay with us here in the Mallorca Connection. We'll be right back with Johan.
Thanks.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.
Ours is a world of wonder. Every day it reminds us of its beauty. It touches us, teaches us, and astounds us. But it also warns us that what we throw away does not go away. That higher temperatures mean a lot more than longer summers. That we can no longer take life as we know it for granted. We are at a unique stage in our history. Never before have we had such an awareness of what we are doing to the planet. And never before have we had the power to do something about that. We face a series
everyone. Welcome back to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and also welcome to our listeners on Business Talk Radio. Our show today is the Mallorca Connection, and my guest is Johan Munck Larholm, and he is the founder of the Performance Retreat, which is an exclusive by invitation only opportunity for you to change your life. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
In the next segment, I'd like to focus on the whole New Year's Eve resolutions, the commitments that we put out there that we're going to totally change everything we've been doing for 50, 60, 20, 30, 40 years in one short day, maybe in a week. Everything's going to change. So what are your thoughts on how realistic it is to make these resolutions if they don't have a backup plan?
They're not. Honestly, we have to do everything. We need to put love into what we do. It's very important that we love what we do, and if it's sports, if it's writing, or if it's handcraft or whatever it is. So and that's why if I ask you to do a job like dig ditches, like for 8 hours with a shovel, I'm pretty sure that within 5-10 minutes you think it's really horrible. And day two, when I wake you up 6 o'clock in the morning, it's wet, it's raining, and you have to do it again, it's horrible. So your whole nervous system, your immune system, everything just shuts down, and it's pure suffering. And if I ask you to do your hobby, you can do that for 8 hours, and yeah, maybe you're tired and you feel exhausted, but inside you feel happy because you've done something you love to do. And when you sleep, you're dreaming nice, you have nice dreams, you're sleeping good. Next morning at 5 or 6, yeah, maybe you're tired, but you wake out of bed and say, yes, I want to do this. So your whole nervous system and your immune system, all your cells is reboosting themselves, but you do something you love to do. And the same is with these New Year's, January resolutions that you're forcing yourself to do something you hate, but you have to. And there's no shortcuts. Come on, let's be honest. There's no shortcuts. You can do something really fast and you can do something clever. There's no shortcuts. You need to put your back into it. But you need to add love into it as well. And find someone, if you're not into these things already, because I don't have these things in January, because my life is maybe, like, it's not only January, I'm wishing to do something. Every day I wake up and say, could I do this instead? Or could I change this? And have this idea, I want to do that. So that's the full year I'm doing these things and changing a little bit at a time. So there's a big difference. So you need to find someone that can help you find the goals, but you need to ask yourself, why do you want to reach those goals? Who's telling you that? Is it something you believe in yourself? Or is it the neighbors, your husband, the TV, whatever, that you have to look like this and this and this and this? So that's a big question.
Thank you so much. I love that perspective. A question I have, and you actually just touched on it, is about the immune system. So as we come to the end of this year, obviously pandemic still here. People have really been struggling with mental health, opportunity to make a resolution and possibly make a change in your life. How can we keep our immune system strong when there's so much that is pulling at us, right? There's so many opportunities to go down a path of stress, just within families. We were having a conversation backstage. How many people are arguing within their families about vaccination, about politics, about what's going on in the world? And this all puts pressure on the immune system, doesn't it?
Yes, it is really difficult, and we are pushed to the limit. All of us, I think. And last 2 years has been even more difficult. When what I did, like when everything starts a few years ago, and I listened in the radio and watched the TV and saw all these things coming again and again. Of course, in the beginning, we need to see, okay, what is it? Like the COVID, how dangerous was it? We need to respect others. We need to keep social distance. We need to do and protect the ill and all this. That's very important. But at some point, you need to understand that we, or I can, or you can, fix the whole COVID thing. Then you have to look at, what can I fix? What can I do right now at the moment, in this second? What can I do? So I sat down, I told my wife, okay, now I listened to this radio for 3 days, they're saying the same, and it's fear. And it's fine, but it's fear and fear. The only thing they do is spreading fear. And that is really, really hard for the immune system and the mental part and the physical part. So I said to my wife, please shut down the radio now. I don't want to listen to it anymore. I understand the situation, and I understand what I can do and what I can't do anything about. And what I can do is I can train myself physically, mentally, and my immune system to be as strong as possible. And hopefully I'll get through this without having any severe illness.
Wow, I love that. That's fantastic. So you really thought about it, and you said, I don't need this negative information. I don't need this negative energy coming into my body or coming into my home. What happens now with the holidays coming, and some, obviously there have already been other holidays, but where you have to interface with people who have different points of view and have to tell you about them? You're at that holiday dinner table and they've got to tell you what they think about something that's opposite of you. How can you keep yourself calm and under control so that your immune system doesn't get crazy?
Well, first of all, you need to believe in yourself. You need to walk these things through with yourself. So, okay, this is what I believe in. And it's very important to understand that we don't have to believe the same. It's not like we have to, I love black and you love red, and then we can't talk together. No. So you have to be the strong one. You have to be a strong one and look at the people. Say, "Oh, I understand you're afraid, because I do understand people are afraid, and that's why they are so like angry, and it's because they're afraid. And as soon as you can see what it is that they're just afraid, then it's not personal. Then it's like it has nothing to do with me. It's just fear coming out because they are so afraid of getting sick or something else, or they have listened to the radio again and again and again and again, and keep on getting boosted with fear and fear and fear and fear. So as soon as you know that is the problem, you can see, okay, the guy is not evil, or they're just afraid. And I understand that. I need to accept his opinion or her opinion, but I need to protect my own opinion too. So I don't need to get into a fight, because I don't need to tell them, you have to believe what I believe. No, I'm strong enough to do that. I have white shoulders. I believe in myself. I know what I'm doing. I feel good. I'm training myself. And you can take yours and you do what is best for you. And that's my best advice.
I have to applaud you for that. That is actually brilliant, because what we've seen in different scenarios in life is one person is really upset about something, which I think there's that anger that's based on fear, but they don't want to admit they're afraid. And the other person reciprocates by taking it to a whole new level. So instead of not judging what that person's saying, now they start arguing. Both people feel bad, ultimately exhausted, tired, sick, whatever the case is. And we can alleviate all of that by just, in my opinion, just let people speak, listen to what they say, and don't judge it. You don't have to go and do whatever it is they're asking. You don't have to believe whatever it is they believe. You just have to believe, like you said, you believe in yourself. You know who you are, and you don't have to try to convert someone to think the way that you do.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. It's beautiful. Yeah. But as soon as the first thing that disappears when you get afraid is the open-mindedness. It's like you're getting completely blindsided. You can't even listen. You cannot feel. It's pure survival. And when you are in that survival mode, it's, of course, you have all these arguments, because you have no chance of telling anyone or listening. It's impossible. So if you just can find the strength within yourself and know what you are going to do with your own life and your family, and you can protect that and do the best you can, then that's it. Then everything around you, of course, then you have a lot of energy and power to help others and listen to them, and because they need to get out of that. So they need to get these things out of the system. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, if they get the fear in 10 times a day or 20 times a day, they are full of the fear all the time, even though they try to get it out by talking and telling and reading and writing. But then they switch on the TV again, and they are completely loaded with fear one time. So they keep on, they can't empty that tank of fear. And then for me, it's very important that I train myself, I train my immune system, I train my physical body, and do that as good as I can, and I have a lot of fun. I'm enjoying my life. I'm doing whatever I can to stay in that zone, because it's bad, yes, but it could be worse, right? It could be worse.
Yes, so true. I was thinking to myself yesterday, I was getting out of the car and some things had happened, and I thought, wow, I'm so grateful that I have this car. I'm so grateful that I'm breathing, that I can see, that I can look at the sky. Like, there's always something to be grateful for. I want to share a quick story. It's along what you were talking about. It's a little silly, but I'm just going to be a little authentic here. So I've always had this fear of spiders and bugs and creatures. I mean, to the point when you talk about fear, that if there was a spider in the room, I'd be obsessed with it. I hope it's not coming near me. Like, I wouldn't be able to think about anything except the spider. So long story short, I have another show with the pet psychic, Amina, and she talks a lot about different animals and creatures, especially spiders. And she said that when she would see a spider, she would name it. She would name it Bob. And she'd say, Bob, listen, you can have this half of the room. Just stay over there, Bob, and just don't come over where I am. And I thought it was kind of silly, and then she started talking about the size of brains that different animals have, whether it's a lizard or whether it's a giraffe. And so the point is, when I see a spider or I see any kind of creature, I realize that it's also alive and it has a right to be here. And I don't have to judge it or be afraid of it or become consumed with it because it's in my space. And I think if we can carry that through with how we act with people, that there'd be a lot more harmony and peace in the world. We all have the right to be here, and we need to understand how to coexist by really listening to each other.
I love that story. It's beautiful. Because what I train my clients is to look at the dark side, as I call it, the little guy sitting here. The problem is if we're getting used to not to look at it, address it, the fear is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And suddenly it's getting more and more, and we have less and less space because the fear is so big because we look at it. Same with the spiders, because we're not looking at it, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But as soon as we look at it, train it, and start to know it, it's getting small. And then you can use it when you need to use that. So same if you are in a situation where people are violent or something happens in the streets, the same happens. If you don't know that side of you, you can't defend, you can't act, you cannot react in the right way. It's impossible. So you need to train that, because then it's a tool, like everything else. Yin and yang, black and white, it's just a tool. So you need to look at it, train it, and then you see what it is. It's just like when you look at the candy shelf and you want, I want to have this pack of chocolate. But if you really start looking at it and asking yourself, well, what is it with exactly that piece of chocolate I want? What is it? Then you see that there's nothing. Okay, it's just a piece of chocolate. And same with the spider. It is just, I do understand if it's a big poisonous spider and can attack you and kill you, fine, then it's a threat. But if it's not, then it's not a reasonable reaction.
Well said. And we've got a couple of comments from our friend Adam Duval. Hi, Adam. Nice to see you, that you're here. Fear is not us. It's our mindset telling us to be scared. And Adam and his wife do a lot of work to help people with mental health awareness. So thank you for that, Adam.
True. Thank you.
And to your point about the mindset that you have, I'll share something else. I love this particular workout. It's called Solid Core. And I think they're only in the United States. It's different. You go into a studio and it's just Solid Core. That's what they have. And they've got 12 benches. They're called Sweatlana. Anyway, long story short, I go there not to compete with anyone, but to compete with myself. And before I ever get there, I am mentally preparing maybe an hour before that this day I'm going to push myself to a new level. And when I get in there, the coaches are on the microphone and they call out people's names and say, hey, way to go, Johan, doing this, that, and the other. And I don't really care about that. But what I care about is that I push myself as hard as I am able to do physically, because mentally I'm getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I walk out of there saying, you know what, you did 5 extra push-ups, you did this, you did that. And I look in the mirror and I go, you know what, for 58, you're pretty good. So I feel that I've been able to train myself, but it's taken a long time to do it. And I love the fact that you're giving people a jump start to be able to do this process themselves with your help.
And if you're adding love to what you're doing as well, like you just, as soon as you think of this workout, as soon as you just walk through the doors, it's like, boom, you get that energy. Let's go. I'm ready. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. And the coaches is very important. It's very important. Like all my clients, I train with them. So I sweat with them. I laugh with them. I cry with them. We go everything together, because together we are much stronger. It's not like you have to do this alone. I have to be, I built all this big empire by myself. No, you did not. Maybe you had a dream and the passion and the push, but so many people help you build this empire. The same with yourself. Yes, you have to get ready to do it and say, I want to go. You need to find a perfect coach for you. It's the best thing. The perfect coach. Not just a coach that sits down and says, do 5 pull-ups, do this, do that, do this, do that. And just like have this same program that fits all. No, a guy or person who really believes and sees and feels you. It's very important.
So true. And I also want to let people know, because I've heard this from people, oh, I don't need to work with a coach. I don't need a mentor. I can figure it out myself. Well, that could possibly be true if you have the tools, if you've
Yes.
done the research, and if you have the discipline and support system to help you through it. When you work with a coach like you, it's a once in a lifetime experience that you're going to get tools and skills that you would never get otherwise, because you've spent all this time perfecting what it is that you offer.
Yes. And let's be honest, some people don't need a coach, and it's fine. But you just look at them and see, okay, how are they acting mentally? How are they acting physically? And if they are in a good way online and life is good and everything is flowing, fine, they don't need it. And maybe they don't have the dream of getting 15% or 20% better. They don't need that. They are healthy and it's fine and they're good and stable. Cool. So it's right. But if not, you just have to look at yourself and say, just go to the mirror, take off the clothes and ask yourself, what do I see? Is this the person that I want to be? Is this the father I want to have my kids be proud of? Yes or no? If it's a yes, spot on. If it's a no, you better get started.
I love the way you just summed that up. Thank you. We are at the end of our show, and I'm just so pleased that you're here. I look forward to having you back again. We have put your contact information in the comments, but for people listening on Business Talk Radio, how can people get in touch with you, and who should contact you for that exclusive by invitation only opportunity?
Well, it's very simple. We call them high performers. So what is a high performer? A high performer is a person who's ready to put in the work and energy to reach the dreams, the goals, nothing else. You don't have to be physically strong, whatever. There's nothing about that. It's more the attitude, and you're ready to invest what it needs to reach your dreams and your goals.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. It's been a pleasure having you here. And you can go to Johan's website, which is www.theperformanceretreat.com. His email address is contact@theperformanceretreat.com. So thank you again, Johan. I really appreciate you being here and all these wonderful tips. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll look forward to seeing you again, hopefully in January.
Stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
What a wonderful person who's doing so much to help people in so many ways. I'm so glad he was here today. And again, hello to Roland, my co-host, who's not here, but hopefully we'll be back soon. Our next show coming up in literally 10 minutes is A World of Difference with my co-host, Hardy Bry. So I hope that you'll join us wherever you're watching from any of our 11 platforms, or if you're listening on Business Talk Radio. Thank you for being you. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for helping us get to where we are today. As I mentioned, 1,000 shows tomorrow at 2:15 Eastern Time is just amazing. So we couldn't do it without you. Thank you. God bless you. Take care of yourself. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Bye.